Alright, this is your boy Launchpad 1412. Somebody asked me to do a passing tutorial. I'm not sure why. No, I'm kidding. But I've been passing the ball pretty well lately. Now I will say I'm not the best passer in Madden. Let me get that out of the way. And I don't even know if this tutorial is even going to be able to help you. I hope it does. I hope it really does help you. I'm just going to put you guys inside of the mind of how Launchpad 1412 thinks, before, as, and after he's passing the ball. First thing that I would suggest is to get a set of plays that work well for you. Now, me, 3 plays that I have about 20 plays, but the top 3 or 4 plays, I would even say 5 plays are like my tier 1 plays. I think that's important because you want to have plays that you have memorized. I mean, memorized. And that could take a while. That's not going to take, 1 day or 2 day. Like that halfback wheel. It's something that I have memorized. I've been doing this since 2013. Another play, PAF slide. I have that memorized. I've been doing that for a while. X drag trail. I have that memorized. I've been doing that for a while. So those 3 plays, plus the mid, high, low. Those are like my 4 favorite plays, pretty much. Those are like my tier 1 plays, so to speak. And I have probably like 2 more, that you can sneak in there that are tier 1 plays. But memorize, find plays that work for you, though. You don't have to use these plays. Find the plays that work for you. Everybody's style is different. So when you have your plays and you have the plays memorized pretty well, it'll help you better, when you're executing on the field. It'll be second nature to you. You won't have to think about it as much. That's one very important step. Okay, let's pick H-back, halfback wheel. Everybody knows this is my favorite play. Now, step 2, take a look at the defense. I put it on random for a reason. We're gonna run this play a couple times. One of the things that I like to do off the bat is this. Have one of my running backs blocking. I usually block the one on the right because the one on the left, I like the route that Coleman is running. I like that route. I've had somewhat of a habit of getting big gains off of that route when the play breaks down and there's nowhere else to throw to, and the defense hasn't got to me yet. For some reason, that play, it kind of gets open. Now let's look at this play. We got Sanders on the high post. We got Kittle on the high post. We got Samuel with a 10-yard in route. Now, step 3. Remember, 1, memorize your plays. Get a couple plays. Memorize your plays. It don't got to be 20 like mine. It could be 4 or 5. But I would say have about 8 plays. So just in case those 4 or 5 plays don't work, or your opponent figures them out, you'll have some backup. So memorize your favorite plays. 2. Look at the defense. I'm sorry. Figure out what you want to do as far as blocking. If you want to do that. And on top of that, right here, look at the defense. This is very important. Now, the way this play looks, it's looking like the high post is going to work, even though that safety is sliding in, though. That safety is sliding in. So I got to see what he's going to do. I know this could be a lot. Remember, you can rewind everything. I know this can be a lot. So you got to really, really pay attention to what's going on. Have your options. Know what options you want. If me personally, I'm thinking like, hey, if Sanders doesn't work, my second option is B. If B doesn't work, my third option is Y. Just have that in your mind. And at this juncture, after you have them memorized, this should be a piece of cake. It doesn't mean you're not going to make mistakes. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes, wild things, random things happen in Madden. It is what it is. But let's run the play and see what happens. Okay, so we do get Sanders right there. Is that Samuel? Yeah, Sanders. Okay. So we do get Sanders right there. Normally on that post, if the corner covers you, you're most likely going to get that. Now, sometimes you get a Stephon Gilmore or Chris Harris that are batted down or intercepted, but it's extremely rare. But that's usually good money. All right, we're going to block the running back again. Try to see if sometimes it's hard to tell. Try to see if your defense is in man or zone. Let's look at the defense again. See, now this post looks like it can work depending on what the safety does. Now, the post out that Kittle is running, it looks good, but the way the corner is positioned, they usually guard that pretty well. So Sanders, I'm sorry, not Sanders, but Samuel is probably going to be open. Let's see what happens. See, Sanders ended up getting open. He was pretty much open. I'm not sure what defense that was, but the way the defense was set up and the way that blitz came in, I was able to hit Samuels. Now, what you got to remember is that sometimes you're going to take a sack. Let's say you get sacked and it's 2nd and 25. Don't panic. You still have, 2nd and 25. You still got 3rd down and even 4th down if you need it to get a 1st down. On 2nd and 25, instead of going for the big ball, try to get 10 to 15 yards. So if you get 15 yards, now you're 3rd and 10. Even on 3rd and 10, you don't got to get a 1st down. If it's there, of course, take it. But you can get 5 to 6 yards. And on 4th down, it's 4th and 3. You see how easily I broke that down? And that can easily happen because usually when people are like 2nd and 25, usually the defense pushes people back, to not get beat deep. So that's definitely something to think about. So let's take this play one more time. Let's see what the defense is doing. Now we're going to block a guy on the right. Now you can block the guy on the right or the left. It don't matter to me. Whatever you want to do. And remember, it's your play. This is just in a split close. There's a lot of formations. Some formations only have one running back blocking. In the backfield. Some have none. And we're going to talk about the one that has none soon. So let's see what happens right here. Okay, I should have that should be good money right there. If that corner, that corner usually can't guard that post route that well. All right, let's try a new play. Now, this is something that I want to explain. Now, what I'm going to explain right here is having like a easy option. It's the best way I can think of it right now. Now, this is what I mean by this. Now, let's take a look at this play, mid, high, low. All right. One of the things I like to do is put my tight end on the end route. What I really want is Sanders on the right. I want that post deep. And it looks like I'm going to get it with the way the defense is set up. But if you get ready to get sacked and not enough time, I always have Kittle there right there to hit. And he's usually pretty open. And usually, even when the blitz comes, that's usually money. Every now and then it gets picked off. You guys have seen it get picked off. Because you got to remember, I'm playing a computer, I'm not playing a human opponent. It is a difference. But the thing about this practice thing is that you can always practice the routes, though. That's beautiful about it. You can keep doing it over and over again. Put the computer on random, and you can always practice the routes. Remember, if something I've said, ooh, he fumbled that too. Something I said is a little confusing. You can always rewind this and come back to it. All right, let's look at the defense again. Now, we're going to put Obo on the end route. Now, let's look at Samuel. The way the defense is set up, it looks like he's pressing a little bit, so you can set him on a streak. That could be a huge gain. You could even throw Sanders on the streak. I'm going to leave Sanders alone because there's still a lot of space in between that linebacker and the safety. Let's see what happens. Yeah, you go to the best option, especially if they're going to play man-to-man coverage like that and you got somebody like Kittle. That's money all day. You guys know me. I'll hit that route. I'll hit that tight end about 6 times if necessary. And what happens is sometimes, most of the time, your defender, that's the human player, he'll come down and try to get Kittle, and you'll get Sanders open. Now, I did rush that just a bit, but that was not a fear. It was just, I just seen the option there, so I took it. See, there I go again. See, and you got Kittle's, and that's another thing. You also got to understand personnel. Now, you got Luke Kuechly back there guarding. He's a coverage linebacker. He'll pick you off. So why take that chance with Sanders when you can just hit Kittle right there? Let's go to another play. Remember, poise in the pocket. If he gets sacked, it's fine. 2nd and 13 is not a big deal. You can make 2nd and 13. Okay, it's not a big deal. 2nd and 13, 2nd down, get about 6-7 yards. Next play, get about 6-7 yards. Next thing you know, you got a 1st down. All right, let's try this play. Levels wide sell. This is another one of my tier 1 plays. Fairly easy play. No, easy play to remember. Remember, you don't got to get nothing difficult. Get what fits you. Madden doesn't have to be difficult. I think some people get caught up and thinking Madden is a difficult game. This play is not difficult at all. You see, I already blocked my running back. Just in case there's a blitz. That's just something I like to do. You don't have to do that. There is, plenty of blockage here, but just in case somebody gets through, I got Coleman there to help out. Now, if he's a man-to-man coverage, this is usually a man beater for as far as Kittle. He's definitely usually pretty good at this. Now, the other players are usually good for zones, these other routes. Now, this is what I would call a really good short yardage route. Just in case you need like 3 or 4 yards, 3rd and 4, 4th and 3. You just need something quick and easy. You got Sanders over the middle right there. That's usually money. Very simple. Very simple. It don't got to be complicated. Now, if you're in a touchdown, always remember to look at the defense too, what the defense is doing. Now, if you're in like, let's say you're like 12, 13 yards away from a touchdown, hitting, see, just take what's there. It's just take what the defense gives you. So don't get me wrong, everything is situational. I mean, if you gotta go, you gotta go deep. You gotta go deep. Then this is probably not the best play to pick to go deep. Depending on what's going on. So you got wide open. Take what the defense gives you. That's usually for a short yardage play. Let's pick a different play. Now let's do something a little bit more aggressive. Remember, pay attention to what I'm saying. Passing doesn't have to be hard. Remember, memorize your play. Memorize your play. Take a look at the defense. Be a little bit poised. You're not going to master it right away. I don't even have it mastered. I know I've been passing very well lately on the game, but I don't have it mastered. Now, this play is a little bit more complex, and it's a little bit more harder to remember because of the route distinction. But it's not that hard, to be honest. You really got Samuels on the 10-yard end, and you got Sanders and Kittle on some loop routes with Bourne on a swiggly route. Usually, I would prefer a faster wide receiver on that route, but I think he's pretty fast. We'll see. Now let's see what happens here. That wasn't a good pass. My fault. It looked like he was going to cut in and get him, but that wasn't a good pass. Remember, you always can make adjustments. Like you can always see Sanders right there. Let's say somebody's blitzing. You can throw him on the in route, and that's fine. And this is a play where you want to kind of go deep, but if Kittle, Sanders, and Bourne are not open deep, you can always hit the boy right there. Usually that's not, Kuechly right there. You always can hit Sanders right there just in case that's not there. But what you want, me personally on a play like this, you want Bourne. Because the way that route is set up, see how open that is? The way that route is set up, that's usually like a good zone beater. Now, you do run into situations where quarterbacks don't throw it right, and that for some reason, like even Drew Brees can mess it up, but most likely it's not. Okay, so hopefully you guys have learned all I can teach you. I believe that's all I can teach you as far as passing. And just memorize some plays. If you want to have tier 2 and tier 3 plays, I suggest that highly, because it works wonders for me. Because sometimes, those first, 2 or 3, or 3 or 4 plays that you really, really like, people figure them out. Yeah, people are really, really smart. Sometimes people figure them out. You hit them with something different, and it usually throws them off, but it usually leads to touchdowns. Number 2, look at where the defense is playing. Look at where everybody is lined up at. Now, you got 24 to 40 seconds on the time clock. If you're doing a post route and you see that the safeties are not in position to get to it, then that's probably where you should go. Or if you get an in route, an out route, or a drag route. Now, I understand you got to make adjustments on the line sometime. Don't make adjustments if it's not necessary. If you see a blitz coming, throw Sanders on the end route. If you see a blitz coming, that's usually a good play. Now, if the blitz coming and that end route is covered, you can just take the sack. Especially when you're doing, because this is for deep balls right here. This is not short yardage. That's Sanders right there. That's not really where you want to go. That's like last resort if nothing else is open. Or you can send Sanders on one of those. Whatever you like, whatever's comfortable for you. And remember, if you get sacked, 25 yards back, one play at a time. Chip 10, 15 yards away, then chip 4 or 5 yards away, whatever it is. Then you get it. You might, again, like I said, on third down, you might have the first down. And if that don't work, then chip away a little bit more until you get the first down. You know, don't panic, be poised in the pocket. If you follow these steps right here, you should be able to beat most